You know, one of the problems that you and I and everybody in the world has at some point is you find yourself in a difficult relationship. One that's toxic, one that's not fulfilling, one that's problematic. And you feel like, I don't know what to do. What do I do in this situation with this difficult person? Well, I'm going to give you some good news. You already know what to do. In fact, you've done it 1,000 times. You just never applied those skills and that know-how into this context. Let me give you an example. You're floating through the mall or out somewhere and you realize, I'm a little thirsty. I'm going to go over to the drink machine. I'm going to get me a Coke, right? And so up here, it's advertising drinks for you. And then you get to choose the one you want. And what do? You hit that button. No, first you put your money in, okay? So you stick your money in there. You hit the button and voila, it drops down and comes out of here. You get your drink and all is well. Unless you walk up, you put your money in. Well, first of all, you say, yeah, I like that one, okay? Then you put your money in and then you hit the button and nothing comes out. And then you hit the button, nothing comes out. And then you hit the button, nothing comes out. And then you hit it. And you know what? After however many attempts, you realize something. You go, ding, and a light comes on. And you go, I don't think there's any Cokes in there. I think it's empty. Or Dr. Pepper, or water, or whatever I'm looking for. This machine doesn't have what I'm looking for. Dadgummit, that's a bummer. What am I going to do? Oh, you know what? There's another machine over there. I think I'm going to go over here where something actually key insight has what I'm looking for. Okay? You have done that 10,000 times. But here's what happens. People get in a relationship and they do exactly the opposite. Kind of starts out the same. You come up, you look, oh, they're looking good, or they got something I like. I'm attracted to this relationship for one reason or another. And then you make a deposit. You're nice to them. You give to them. You sacrifice for them. You actually invest a little bit, and you're kind of knocking on the door expecting something in return. That's what we call a mutually satisfying relationship, but it doesn't come. So what do? You do the same thing, pretty normal so far. But you hit the button and you hit the button and you say, hey, I texted you, you ghosted me, or I was nice to you, you yelled at me, or whatever it was. And you hit it and you keep protesting, and guess what? It still doesn't come out, okay? But then what do? Then you go into a totally different deal. Well, maybe I'm just not doing it right. Maybe if I hit the button from this side, or maybe if I got a little hairdo, or maybe if I were extra nice, or maybe, some way in which you start to go into this thing where you feel like, I can fix this machine. Instead of the light going on, and you're realizing, maybe there's nothing in there. And maybe whatever I've already put into it is going to give me the same results by putting more into it? More money? More love? More attention? Probably not going to work. So, what do? Well, ultimately, you can say, you know what? I'm done, but give it a few messages first. You can say, you know what? I'm not going to keep putting money into this. I think you've got to figure out, Mr. Machine, if you're going to get a delivery truck to come somewhere and maybe put something in you, what does that mean? Maybe you need to go to counseling. Maybe you need a mentor. Maybe you need a group. I don't know what's wrong with you, but I know I've done all I can do. I will support you in getting the delivery truck to come here. I will be your friend. I will try to make this work. But ultimately, if you don't do that, what I'm going to do in the meantime, I got some good friends over there. Or let's say you're in the dating world. There's other people that actually have some stuff to give. Or you don't have to sit there and keep banging on a machine that isn't able to give you what you're asking it to give you. So, stop putting more money in. wake up and realize, I don't think they've got it, or I don't think they want to. I've got to come to grips with that, have a little mini morning session, morning MOURNIG, grief cycle. You go, wait, I don't know what I want. And then you go, so now what are my options? That's different than standing there and banging the machine over and over, or trying to dress better, or be smarter, or be more loving, or be whatever it is you think that money isn't enough that you put into it when it actually you've already overspent. That's not going to work. It's time to set some boundaries and say, look, here's what I want. You've got to choose whether or not you're going to be able to deliver that and start, or then maybe we have to make some hard choices.